Manners of Dying was shot almost entirely in one location, a decommissioned old prison in Quebec City. Finding the location was a big part of what allowed us to put this film together. We had a very small budget that allowed for only 19 days of shooting. Moving equipment and crew from one location to another is always a problem because of the time you lose. Here was this location that had everything we needed under one roof. No time at all was wasted packing or moving equipment. 2 floors of the prison were used to shoot in. The crew set up on the others. We had the run of the place, so it was almost like a studio shoot. We even had individual cells the actors could retire to when they weren't required on set.
It's not time yet. Get the fuck out of here!
Another great thing about shooting in a real prison is that everything is solid. When a scene called for it, the actors could really let loose and bang around without worrying about putting their fist through a fake wall or a cheap set piece. Since the place had been a real prison, we didn't have to do extensive set building, which was another big cost saver. Most of the basic sets were already in place. We repainted everything to get the color scheme we wanted, and welded in a few extra bars here and there it was.
Salut Hervé.
I feel really fortunate to have been able to put together such a great cast for my first feature film. Because I have a pessimistic streak, and I figured we probably couldn't afford him, I actually looked at quite a few actors besides Roy Dupuis for the part of Kevin Barlow, but I always knew he was the perfect guy for the part. I was obviously thrilled when he came onto the project. It was great to find we had a lot of the same ideas on how an actor and a director should work together to build characters. Neither of us likes doing rehearsals. What we both like to do is to discuss motivation and character history and all the peripheral stuff that doesn't necessarily make it on screen, but really helps the actor hit just the right emotion while the camera's rolling.
I just realized that I'm part of everyone. And everyone's part of me.
I looked at about 40 different actors for the part of Parlington before my casting director finally handed me Serge Wood's demo tape. I think Serge was the biggest and best surprise of the whole project.
I just got the call. He goes tonight. There's no doubt about that now.
Even though he's appeared in a lot of films and TV shows, it's always been in small parts, no leads. I find it amazing that Manners of Dying is his first lead part, as do most people who see the film. The part of Parlington was a bit thankless in some ways. While Kevin Barlow could be really flamboyant and shout and kick and bounce off the walls, Parlington has to remain calm and restrained at all times. Yet we also have to get a sense that the events of the story are wearing him down. Serge is so good at doing subtle little things in his acting, like slightly clenching his jaw or the twitching of an eye, that give you the sense that while he looks controlled on the outside, he's just boiling on the inside. Serge's restraint and steadiness are what really set off and highlight Roy Dupuis' various performances. The two were just a great mix, and they were wonderful to work with. One of the guards you see in the film did work as an actual prison guard. Another was a policeman. I didn't know this when I cast them. I guess there was just something about them that looked right. They ended up becoming sort of counselors on how things should be done, on how a prisoner should be approached or restrained. We didn't have the money for stunt doubles, so the actors had to perform the fight themselves. This is not a risk that producers like to take, because if an actor gets injured, it can obviously mess up the rest of the shoot in a very serious way. For this film, though I didn't have the budget, I had a bunch of actors who were willing to do whatever it takes to make a scene intense and convincing. I actually think we got a better fight scene than if we had been working with stunt coordinators. I can't stand film violence that looks too clean or choreographed. I wanted the violent scenes in Manners of Dying to look mean and clumsy and painful, and most of all, very desperate. We were shooting a dark and heavy film, and we had to work fast because of time and budget constraints. The potential was there for it to be a really difficult and stressful shoot. It did get intense at times, but the mood on the set was always great. When the camera was rolling, everyone stayed concentrated, but between takes, people found ways to let off steam. There were lots of goofs and jokers on the crew to lighten things up. Though the heavy scenes were as disturbing to film as they are to watch, Manners of Dying ended up being a lot of fun to shoot.